Dr. Stephen AKINTAYO. I'm the convener, and we started a series yesterday on luxury selling, right? Selling premium, selling expensive stuff. And we look at social media aspect to that. And today I'll go more on the soft skills, right? I realized that for a lot of people with my kind of background, we were born poor. And some of the things we didn't learn, and not because we were bad people, it's just that, hey, priority was we needed to pay bills, we needed to take care of ourselves. And that's one of the things I hate about poverty, right? Poverty rob you of the choice, robs you the choice of being being honorable. It robs you of the choice of being a giver like you will have wanted. And when I say giver, I'm talking of giving to other people like you will have wanted. Now, am I saying poor people are not givers? No. I mean, most times I tell people that you even give more. Poor people give more than rich people. And Jesus made that practical illustration. Because if somebody empties their account and then somebody else is richer and drops a bigger money, but that money he dropped is even less than 1% of what he has, who really gave more? It was the person who really emptied their account, right? But when you're poor, and I had this experience when I, running our foundation when we just started, and I didn't have a big business to fund the foundation, I would have emptied my account, helping orphans, and we're still broke, and we're still in debt, and we couldn't finish paying all the bills. And I still felt we should have helped more people, but we just couldn't afford it. But this is the beautiful thing that you need to then start learning as you work your way to being wealthy. Is being more thoughtful, being more mindful. Now, if you start being mindful even when you're not rich, I promise you it's a matter of time, you will soon become rich. But the first skill here in becoming a successful realtor that sells luxury is to learn luxury. In fact, I started a show in Dubai called Learning Luxury because I didn't realize I didn't know much about luxury. I was never able to afford designers and all of that. So I never had appreciation for luxury. So I remember going to this Japanese, restaurant, very expensive. And if you go to my YouTube, you see some of those videos where I didn't still know how to eat fresh Japanese fish. You know, I went to luxurious car dealership even before I had, I got my own Rolls Royce and asking questions about cars, understanding cars, prices of cars. And I just started making some of those moves. And I want to encourage you to do the same. If you want to grow in luxury, go to some of the most expensive car dealership, wear some of the best clothes you have, and walk in there like you have all the money to pay and price the car. The most expensive cars there. Enter the car, feel the leather, feel the steering wheel, and then tell the car dealer, I will be back. Okay? And I promise you, you will be back one day. Because that's exactly what has happened to me. All of these places I used to go to, I'll tell them, I'll be back. I indeed came back. It may not be the same dealership, but indeed a time came I could afford it, and I got those things. And will happen to you as well. So please and please, you need to start learning luxurious taste. Even if you're still going to learn to be yourself, like I've learned to be myself, right? I know how to use a fork and knife, but at least learn how to use a fork and knife. But guess what? Nothing tastes like using your hand to eat amala, begiri, ewedu. Who knows what I'm talking about? But let's still learn how to use the fork and knife for the days where we go to a wealthy man's house and he asks us to have dinner and we don't embarrass ourselves, right? So still learn a lot about these things. In those days, I remember I would just go lodge in and spend just one night in an hotel, because of course I was living in a suburb, but You know the funny thing today, the location I stay is even more pricier than where some of the most expensive hotels are. Right? Whether here in Nigeria, Banana Island, or in the US, I live in a whole ranch all by myself. Okay, and a very premium neighborhood all over the world. Whether in Dubai, Burj Khalifa, premium neighborhood. But I tested these luxury experiences. And so by the time this was helpful. So when I started selling luxurious stuff, I've started forcing myself to have a taste. If I started since when I was on campus, I would take the last money with me, come to Victoria Island, come to Silver Bay Galleria. This was many, many years ago. Sometimes I have money to watch a movie. Sometimes I don't even have money to watch a movie. I walk the Galleria, look at the malls, and I walk that street. I think it's Mohammed Bello way, right? And I will be prophesying. There used to be a bar beach there, and I'll be prophesying one day I'll be living in this kind of high neighborhood. It has happened today. So don't tell me you want to sell premium luxury real estate and you're not being intentional about learning luxury, about learning, you can even read about Rolls Royce, watch podcasts. So I'll give you an assignment. Number one, go and do a research on how Rolls Royce is sold and put the research, whatever bullet points in the community group. You say, hey, 7 things I learned watching Rolls Royce podcast. And this takes me to number two lessons about these soft skills that we're talking about. You also then need to know the Paul puts it this way, Apostle Paul puts it this way, that he's learned to abound. He's learned to, live in scarcity and in wealth. He's learned to just be balanced, right? Irrespective of what phase he is. And I think this is as powerful. Nothing is as powerful as this. Nothing. Of being able to learn to have a balanced life. So you must also know when you are dealing with a person. For example, I've met some of the richest people in the world who don't live like luxury. We are not into all that luxurious lifestyle, right? And I've met some other people who are very detailed about those kind of pattern and lifestyle. So be sensitive to all these things and be conscious of which one works, which one doesn't work, which one people prefer. These things are very important in your journey of building massive, massive wealth. Very, very important in your journey of building wealth. I'll say it again, very, very important in your journey of building wealth. So master the art of how do you carry yourself when you are before royals? How do you dress when you are before people who are very sensitive, taste, excellence? How do you talk? Are you aware luxury is not loud? So the tone you need to use when you're selling a consumer product is not the tone you use when you're selling luxury product. Even your tone has to change. Okay? I was sharing in one of these days as we started the challenge. I said, the way you sell a cheaper land in Ibadan, right, it's not the way you sell a land in Ikoyi. You must understand those things, right? In Ikoyi, Banana Island, you're selling a $2 million house. Don't come and tell us it's close to Adenuga House, right? Or Ikoyi is close to the lagoon. How you normally do those Ibadan house is 15 minutes from Dugbe bus stop. Okay, it's 5 minutes from University of Ibadan. It is adjacent Third Road. It has C of O. You can't sell a $2 million house in Banana Island that way. In fact, it's just a luxury video, right toned, color coding of the video. There's a way you color code a video that represents luxury by the color coding, right? There's certain music that signifies excellence and luxury, right? And there are certain phrases. If you don't know how to tag it, assignment number two, I need you to help me write 10 phrases. You can use AI. Tell AI, ChatGPT, give me 10 luxury phrases and put it in the community group. That's assignment number 2. Put it in the community group. So some of these luxury things, you may not even put too much. Just, let me think of any that comes to mind. And sometimes some of those don't really make sense, but it sounds luxury anyway, right? For example, a phrase like luxury speaks for itself. Okay, a $45 million mansion in so place, right? Call so number or email so number. Finish. But the Ibadan land, your write-up, your sales page must be long. 10 benefits, 10 reasons. So, and this is where people miss it, right? If you then use the same approach that you're using to sell Ibadan, to sell G-Text that is a bit premium, right? You might not, because you first of all attract the wrong set of people and they will keep telling you it's expensive, it's expensive, it's expensive. I have one question for you. Have you ever seen anyone walk up to a Rolls Royce dealership and then they give him or her the details and cost implication of buying, let's say, a Rolls Royce Ghost 2025 model? And then the person starts shouting, it's too expensive. Have you ever heard that? Right? It's even the dealer that will look at the person and say, maybe something is wrong with you mentally. Because even though in your mind you know that this is expensive for me, but you will not think that the Rolls Royce is expensive. You see where I'm going with this? And you cannot in any way begin to argue about the price. How much is even the bull skin leather used to make a Rolls Royce? Why is it $500,000? How much is the alloy rim? You can't just even say those things because the way you market luxury is just in its name. Luxury just says, I'm here. This is what I cost. No question asked. Right? So if you don't do the marketing that way, if you also don't have the soft skill and the mental framework, you will realize that you have luxury products that you're supposed to sell. You are not able to sell it because your mind can't just, and people don't buy product, they buy individuals. I will know if you believe what you are selling is what the price it is going for. I will know. It's there in the way you talk, in the way you carry it, in the confidence that you use to disclose the price point. Lastly, you also need to know that the way you close luxury properties is not the way you close just normal ones. When you're closing something luxury, you book a meeting. You have a Zoom session. You have one or two other people in the room, everybody looking good. And then you break down the details, the consequences, the cost implication, the terms and conditions. You're not even hiding any terms, right? If you default, this is what you lose. These are the rules. Are you okay to go ahead, ma and sir? That is how you close premium properties, okay? I hope you've learned a thing or two. I look forward to seeing you day 10. 10 is a significant number, right? So cannot wait to see you tomorrow for day 10. Don't forget the assignments. Don't forget the in place of working together. Don't forget the place of getting a team and working with your team. And let's make this work, guys. It's doable. We can work it out. We can win. I love you.